exciting the latest exciting transaction that we announced on December 2nd, where we signed our definitive earn-in agreement with Corporación Americas to take our Ivana deposit all the way through the necessary exploration steps and then into feasibility and then all the way up until commercial production. Just as a reminder and a bit of a backdrop, Ivana is a uranium deposit that Blue Sky has discovered in southern Argentina in the province, in a nuclear-friendly province of Rio Negro. Just over 17 million pounds of uranium and just about 8.1 million pounds of vanadium in indicated resources. We published a PEA just about 10 months ago. And during that time, the very positive economics have yielded a number of expressions of interest. But COAM is the one that came forward, and we announced the initial combination with COAM in June. It's been a long negotiation. When you're negotiating to go all the way to production, there's a lot of steps to consider. There's a lot of details, and I'm just really happy to have been able to conclude that with them. It's with one of the most capable and financially backed groups in Argentina. They're a diversified organization with businesses in airports and trucking and malls and oil and gas, and now, of course, in the nuclear industry. The deal specifically is we have granted COAM an option basically to earn up to 80% of our Ivana deposit. And the way this works is there's an initial earning period. They can earn up 49.9%. They need to fund 35 million US dollars over 36 months to do all the necessary studies and complete a 43-101 compliant feasibility study. And then once that is public, that is produced, they will have earned their 49.9%. When they make a commitment to go forward in terms of construction and building a plant to take the project into production, they'll earn another 0.2%. So they will have the 50.1%, and Blue Sky will have the 49.9%. Then their commitment afterwards, they have an option to earn an additional I guess, 29.9% to take them up to 80%. And what they have to do, they have to fund the build out for commercial production up until 160 million US dollars. That's the number that was indicated in the last published preliminary economic assessment that we put out. And then if the cash cost or the capex exceeds that, they would acquire debt for the joint venture and finance it that way. So basically, as Blue Sky, we get a 20% carried interest into this all the way into production. So from our vantage point, we don't have to see putting up any money until after this thing goes into production, which point it should be making money. That's the idea here. So it is a very good deal for Blue Sky, very good deal for our shareholders. And additionally, we have carved out and defined an area that immediately surrounds the Ivana deposit, and they have 6 years basically to fund exploration. And if we make a new discoveries in that area and they wish to, we've granted them an option so they can bring them into the joint venture, but those would get paid. They would be paid for. The joint venture would basically acquire those by paying Blue Sky, I guess, a price that's been predetermined, and it's a complex matrix that determines what the price should be and whatnot. So overall, a very positive deal, and for me, it defines a path for Ivana to go all the way through into production. and in the surrounding area project, the additional potential other targets that could yield additional deposits to further add to the economics of that. But at the same time, though, it leaves us with the entire northern part of Amarillo Grande and our new projects that we've acquired in ISR potential projects in that we announced just earlier this year. So there's still a lot remaining for Blue Sky. So it's this 2025, I think, is going to be a very, very positive and exciting year for Blue Sky and our shareholders.
Niko, you there?
Yep, sorry, I'm here. I
Yeah.
guess as I finished talking, I thought, okay, well, question might be when are we going to close all of this? When is this going to be finalized? So there's only two more steps that's still outstanding. We've got TSX Venture Exchange approval, which is underway right now. And the second step, of course, will be we're going to require shareholder approval. That's going to be one of the conditions that the exchange is going to require. We're looking, we've got the next 3 months to do the shareholder approval. I'm looking to do that meeting as quickly as possible. The only complication is that there's a Canada Post strike, and it is presenting right now a bit of a glitch in terms of mailing out materials, but we're working with the regulators to see what kind of a workaround situation we could have with that situation. And with that,
Yep.
I'm happy to open up questions.
So Nico, we saw today that Millet had some comments on the nuclear sector. Maybe you'd like to mention something about that.
Millet, I understand, had a tremendous speech last night, and one of the points that he's really going full on discussing medium and long-term objectives for Argentina, especially throughout the mining and energy industry. But specifically, he's announced a new nuclear energy program for Argentina. They start building new nuclear power plants. So Argentina is forging ahead and looking to become a regional powerhouse in the nuclear industry, which bodes very bullish for our projects in Argentina and our company.
And another point I think is important to point out is that the deal's just done in the very southern part of this district that we control. The trend line is still probably 100 kilometers long by about 40 kilometers wide. And we have about six new targets, I believe, Nico, on that trend line that we want to get drilling as fast as possible and
Yep.
hopefully increase this resource. We certainly think that the resource is going to get larger and the mine life will be extended significantly as we make these more new discoveries along the trend line. And then, of course, COAM will come in and probably join us on those as well. But the first question, Nico, is our burn rate at this point. I know that we're responsible for raising money for any exploration outside of the agreement, which is just a small area, and the Ivana deposit in the southern tip of the trend line. And so any other work that happens on the property, that's totally Blue Sky's responsibility. So that being said, Nico, I think that you can address the cash burn and then future financing opportunities.
Well, right now we're focused on finalizing and closing up the deal on the Ivana deposit that has been announced. And simultaneously, we're putting together our budgets and programs for the next year for other exploration targets. So we're going to have more specifics on that as the new year rolls in. Our cash has been running a little tight, I might say, and the reason for that is, the negotiations have dragged out a little bit, but that's just what it is, and bills are beginning to pick up. So I expect in the beginning of the new year we'll be looking to do some fundraising.
Yeah, and there was a lot of countries involved in the deal, and that's probably a big reason why things took as long as they did. Uh, but in my experience in the past, these things always take a lot longer than you hope they would. So if we can move up the closing date, that would be great. And from what we understand, these guys are already gung ho to go. They're already planning in the planning stages of how they're going to kick
Yeah,
it.
our technical team and their technical teams are already talking together, putting plans about beginning the next stage. We're looking to see what can be done to fast track things in this very positive uranium market, not just globally, but especially now as it's unfolding in Argentina. So we're looking to see how to close this deal as quickly as possible, and then get on the ground and begin the work as quickly as possible. So we've already begun the planning. So as soon as it closes, I expect that we're going to hit the ground running here.
And that will give us a lot of news flow and consistent news flow, which we haven't had in the last couple of years, and that's definitely affected our share price. But as we move forward, we're going to have a tremendous amount of news flow, not only coming from the Ivana deposit, but also from the work that we're going to be doing on the other exploration targets. So that's exciting. Now, question here from a gentleman was the timeline for the updated resource estimate. We already did a resource estimate update recently, but he's asking the PFS and production baseline, best case, worst case, assuming the deal accepted and PFS is positive, will there be a FS or go straight to production from the pre-fees?
There will be an FS because that's a requirement in our deal. And the worst case scenario is that the FS gets completed in 36 months. That's 3 years. In the best case is our discussions are with Quam is that they're looking to accelerate that. We're looking, can we skip the PFS, for example, and go straight to FS? These are all considerations that the team is looking into. So I'm hoping that this is going to be a lot quicker than what we anticipate.
And what, Niko, and the timeline, realistically, if everything went really smoothly, would you see this actually getting into production? The best case scenario.
Well, you'd have to complete the feasibility study, and if that takes 2 or 3 years, then there's permitting and whatnot. The construction for commercial development could begin, maybe 4 years out from now.
Okay. Right. And let's see. Dale has got a question here. More drilling to up to date the resources for the PFS. I would imagine there's going to be.
Yes, of course, there's got to be more drilling because it needs to tighten up we need to upgrade the quality of the resource and have more confidence in it.
And, Dimitri has a question for you. Is there a possibility to develop a JV partnership that allows Blue Sky to be the operator, but outside partner to fund the exploration projects to avoid future dilution?
Absolutely, there is. And we're already getting a lot of expressions of interest right now for all our exploration projects. We're evaluating all of that and looking to see if we can leverage other people's money to help us develop the projects that we've acquired and identified and the targets that we've developed. By all means, we will explore that before we start raising any money for exploration.
And I think another important thing to mention is that we understand the deposit very well now after working on this for what, 15 years? Grosso's been on this property. So we understand what the preliminary exploration means to us. So we're fairly confident that these targets that we have outlined here are going to prove.
Well, the model for the geological model that yields these deposits now are much, much better understood by our technical team than they were 15 years ago. It was a unique type of situation. So now that given that we have that, we're up the learning curve significantly, making the next deposit makes it a little easier because we know what to look for.
And also comparable deposits in other jurisdictions in the world, they typically are very, very large, and
Yeah.
these type of deposits. So we've got a lot of runway here.
For
Uh,
sure, you look at deposits for example, in Kazakhstan that have similar type of geological controls to as Amarillo Grande here, and their deposits there they run 250 million pounds of uranium. So there's a lot of potential upside here for us.
and then Dimitri has another question: is there a possibility to get included in a uranium ETF?
I guess now that as we're transforming the company, I agree, this is a transformative agreement for us. And as the company now moves towards production, I think ETFs and other institutional investors will have to be taking a closer look at Blue Sky. And that's going to be one of my first orders of business as soon as we close this, is to ensure that we make these institutional investors aware of who we are and what we've got to get included in those portfolios, because that's what's really going to have a substantial impact on our valuation.
Another point I think we should make is that we've always been discounted because of Argentina in the past, and that environment's changed dramatically. We see a lot of money pouring into the mining sector in Argentina, and the government is 100% pro-mining. So we anticipate our audience to expand into more of an institutional base as we start putting out news and we, first of all, close the deal. I think there's a lot of people sitting on the fence wanting to see the deal actually get closed.
Yeah,
From there, Niko's got a plan to target more of an institutional audience as we move forward, rather than
yeah.
focusing on the retail base.
Yeah, the hurdles to close the deal are not that great. It's definitely it's a matter of getting it done as quickly as possible. And with Argentina, yeah, I agree, Sean. We've gone from the from the Argentina discount now possibly into the Argentina premium. That's my goal.
Yeah. Oh, we definitely, from the communication that I have, there's definitely been a sea change, and people are very interested in what's happening in Argentina. And as Milei gets further down the line here, and he's proven his economic theories out, there's going to be a lot of attention, especially with Trump and his relationship. I think America's going to take a bigger interest in Argentina, where the Chinese have been the lead down there for a long time now. So there's going to be a lot of changes down there that are going to be positive for us. And another thing, they're planning to build more nuclear reactors in China in Argentina, and they're going to need supply. We're the only company that is in a position to make uranium to supply their needs. So we
That's right.
built.
Our Ivana deposit is the largest and most advanced deposit, uranium deposit in Argentina. And currently, as Argentina imports all its uranium needs, I think we are well served to become Argentina's first potential domestic supplier of uranium. In fact, after hitting production, there's local laws in Argentina, federal laws in Argentina that indicate that domestic nuclear utilities must purchase domestic uranium before they purchase international uranium at international market prices. So we're in a very, very good position here.
And another point I think might be important to bring up is that Milei was actually an economic advisor to our new partners in the past. So
That's right.
they have a relationship already, and I'm sure that he's going to be made aware of what they have going on with us in the uranium sector.
Yeah, yeah. The Quam Group is one of the most prominent, high-profile business groups in the country.
So here, Dimitri had another question for us here. Is there have been any discussion with the government to form some kind of partnership with BSK?
Um, we have many discussions with the government, both local, federal, and the CNEA, which is the Argentine Nuclear Energy Atomic Nuclear Energy Commission of Argentina. They're very aware of what we're doing. Um, Partnerships. I'm not so sure about partnerships, but working together, we do that all the time there. We work with the local universities there, for example. We train the local uranium geologists in the University of Rio Negro. We give them field experience in our project. So we do our best to be as good a local citizen as we can in terms of, building out, making business partnerships. We look to groups with deep pockets, deep expertise, and our local contacts there with the government, and bring it all together, and so that all parties can succeed.
And Niko, maybe mention just the government's testing plants and the operations they have in the same province that we're based in. So
Yeah,
we're closely related there.
yeah. Besides Argentina being a nuclear country, the province of Rio Negro is a nuclear province. It's about the most pro-nuclear province in the entire country. It's about the best place where we could have found a uranium deposit. And the province of Rio Negro has an ownership in a nuclear research facility called INVAP. INVAP builds small modular reactors. They do all kinds of research in the nuclear space. and they're quite well regarded internationally. So, and we work very closely together with them as well.
And so, and that being said, the area that we do work is a very dense or very unpopulated area. There's all kinds of infrastructure in place already, and so we don't anticipate many hurdles as we move down the road for permitting. Right? Correct, Nico?
Well, we've been doing things by the book all along. We have been good employer locally in the town. We've been good contributors to the community. We continue to engage everybody, and we don't anticipate any problems. Putting a uranium mine into production in Argentina is not much different than putting a gold mine or a copper mine into production. The steps to undertake are well prescribed. So we're going to follow those steps and work closely with all the government agencies and any populations that need to be informed and made aware and have a say in things. And so far we've had a wonderful working relationship with all the parties involved.
And I think it's important also to mention the Grosso history in Argentina and our quality of our staff down there. Uh,
Well, absolutely. We have a long, Blue Sky Uranium is managed by Grosso Group and Grosso Group, an organization founded by Joe Grosso, who was a visionary back almost 32 years ago now when he went to Argentina and realized that for the first time there's foreign exploration being permitted, foreign mining being permitted to invest in the country, realized the exceptional opportunity that presented, and formed among one of the very first mining companies in the country. And since then, we've developed an exceptional reputation in the country. Joe Grosso inducted into Argentina's Mining Hall of Fame. And the companies have made a number of discoveries, different junior mining companies that we manage there, not just Blue Sky's Ivana deposit, but we made gold discoveries, the Guacamayo gold mine that's still in production. We discovered the Navidad silver lead zinc mine, silver mine, which is one of the largest undeveloped silver deposits in the world. We discovered the Chinchillas silver lead zinc mine from discovery all the way up into production in partnership with SSR Mining, and the list just continues here. So we've had a great batting average in Argentina. Argentina is a wonderful country in which to do exploration, and this is a major deal for Blue Sky, major deal for Grosso Group, a major deal for our investors, and I'm just really proud of the to be associated with it and to have a team together to help pull it together. And I think this is going to form a good pillar for the company to grow and to leverage its growth and to move forward towards feasibility into production. Our roadmap now has been planned out.
Nico, one last question, and then we'll wrap it up. We've taken a lot of time here. Um, Dominic has an interesting question. Thank you for all of the work you've put in thus far. Do potential deeper deposits impact the matrix of the deal with Coam, or does the deal only consider the superficial, well-known deposits?
No, if they drill deeper at Ivana and we find more uranium there, that's part of the deal, and then we benefit of that because we get 20% of that. We don't have to put up a penny for that. That's free frosting on the cake, right? So if you keep adding frosting on that cake, that's to our benefit and it's to Coam's benefit, absolutely. And
And
there is potential to go deeper. Because Blue Sky had limited funds. We limited our drilling to the low-lying fruit and easy pickings. We drilled the first 30 meters or so, and we discovered a world-class deposit here. There definitely is potential that there are stacked horizons of uranium lying below, and this is going to be the opportunity to flush these out. So it could be very exciting for all the parties concerned.
that is quite common with these type of deposits as well, is it not, Nico?
Absolutely, it is. Yes.
All right. Well, any last words, Nico, and we'll wrap it up. And
That's it. Well, I just want to say, look, again, just summarize, this is a transformative deal for the company, and very pleased to see it come tied up like this. I'm very anxious now to get it closed up, as I'm sure most of our shareholders are. We're going to get this closed up at the very first opportunity that we get. And if anybody has any questions, because we're running out of time here, by all means, reach out to Sean, reach out to me. Happy to engage, happy to talk. Thank you, everybody, for your support.
And one last thing I'd like to say is that we will be launching a financing in January. If anybody has any interest in participating, we'd like to see the share price come up a little bit, but we're hoping it's going to coincide with the actual closing of the agreement. So if you have any interest in that, please let me put you on the list. Let me know. Okay, that's good. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Thank you, Niko.